Today we will learn about cryptography. Cryptography is a method of protecting data or information within a communication using encrypted codes where only the person who is intended to receive the data can read and process it. In computer science, cryptography refers to a secure information and communication technique derived from a mathematical concept and a set of rule-based calculation called algorithms to transform messages in ways that are hard to decipher. Cryptography was considered to be born along with the art of writing. As civilizations evolved, human beings got organized in tribes, groups, kingdoms. This led to emergence of ideas such as battle, supremacy, politics. Also, these ideas further fueled the natural need of people to communicate secretly with selective recipients, which in turn ensured the continuous evolution of cryptography as well. The first known evidence of cryptography can be traced to the use of hieroglyph. Some 4,000 years ago, the Egyptians used to communicate by messages written in hieroglyph. This code was secret, known only to the scribes who used to transmit messages on behalf of kings. Modern cryptography uses sophisticated mathematical equations and secret keys to encrypt and decrypt data. Today, cryptography is used to provide secrecy and integrity to data and both authentication and anonymity to our communications. The increase in demand of cryptography was driven by industry interest. For example, financial services require secure electronic transactions and businesses need to secure trade secrets stored on computers. Sometimes individual interests, secure wireless communications are needed. Digital communications were obvious candidates for encryption. Here is a simple step-by-step process of how cryptography works. Starts with the plain text, encryption, ciphertext, decryption, and plain text again. Now, you may ask, how does cryptography work? A cryptographic algorithm or cipher is a mathematical function used in the encryption and decryption process. A cryptographic algorithm works in combination with a key, a word, number, or a phrase to encrypt the plain text. The same plain text encrypts to a different ciphertext with different keys. The security of the encrypted data is entirely dependent on two things: the strength of the cryptographic algorithm and secrecy of the key. Here is a clear example of how a public key cryptography works. Take note that there are two keys. Keys are different but mathematically linked, both from Bob's public key. Now, in this scenario, Bob is trying to make a fetch happen to Alice. A fetch means he's probably trying to get information or send information to Alice. He would now encrypt that information and combining with the public key that he obtains. Now, when this is combined, a ciphertext will be formed. The decrypting software from Alice will now check if Bob's private key and the decrypted data was in fact equal to what she is expecting to receive. Once it's confirmed that it is the message coming from Bob and the key is coming from Bob as well, the fetch will stop and decrypt the data, and Alice will receive a plain text. And it works on both ways as well. Here are three possible worries facing an e-commerce customer. If customer transmit a card over the internet, can other people see the transaction? If they agreed to pay a certain amount for goods, does the amount can be changed, or does the transaction information can be changed? If someone's buying something from a company, is it a real company or is it a fraudulent company? Cryptography will have the solution for three important information security issues. Confidentiality, protecting information from unauthorized disclosure. This means that any information that is encrypted can't be easily seen by the eyes of people who are not meant to see it. Integrity, protecting information from unauthorized modification. This will help protect users from having their transactions modified by the other end of the transaction. Authentication, ensuring that the person or the company that a user is doing a transaction with is authorized, a real person, a real company, and not some fraudulent organization. Today, there are so many cryptographic algorithms that can be used and utilized to ensure the protection of data, such as Advanced Encryption Standard, RSA, Blowfish, Data Encryption Standard, Elliptical Curve cryptography. The reason for this is to ensure that hackers will have a hard time determining which algorithm is being used by a company. The secret key is one thing. Even if hackers obtain the key without the correct algorithm, it will not work. This is also why most companies switch their keys and algorithms to ensure the protection of their users' data. The major goal of cryptography is to prevent data from being read by any third party. Most transmission systems use a private key crypto system. This system uses a secret key to encrypt and decrypt data, which is shared between the sender and receiver. In conclusion, this may seem confusing, and it is. Cryptography is no light subject, for good reason. If everyone knew how it worked, that would likely mean it's not safe enough. At the end of the day, we want to keep our data safe, and this can be achieved with the power of cryptography.